From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, August 2nd, 2021. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We've got heat advisories in place across primarily southern Alberta and then southwestern and west central Saskatchewan. As we talk about the Prairie specifically, we'll have heat lingering over the region for much of the work week here, but we do have some changes to talk about as we get toward the end of the week. Some light showers across western Alberta as well, kind of from Edmonton down to Cardston there, hit or miss. Some light precipitation possible in the Calgary area early this morning as well. A little disturbance here making its way over western portions of Canada, again with that hit or miss precipitation across the region. And this will move from west to east across the Prairie provinces over the next 48 hours. We'll go ahead and bring this back, bringing again hit or miss, generally light precipitation. The heavier precipitation going to be more likely as you head north up toward Highway 16. But here's as we head through the day today. Again, much of that precipitation, hit or miss in general, confined to Alberta. This will move on into Saskatchewan as we head through the day on Tuesday. Very widely isolated showers. Most folks going to be remaining dry here. And then this moves into portions of Manitoba as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. So really as we head through the early part of the work week here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some chances for precipitation, but still generally looking to be on the dry side over the next 3 to 4 days. Total precipitation from the NAM model between now, Monday morning, and Thursday mid-afternoon. Again, heaviest precipitation going to be best or most likely kind of along and north of Highway 16, and then as you go all the way about as far west as you can go toward the mountains here, where we might have some isolated to scattered storms developing off the mountains, and then moving into western portions of the Prairie. We'll combine the NAM model on the left and the European on the right, kind of compare those, and both have basically the same story. We'll have chances for some hit or miss precipitation here as we get started this week, but most folks going to be on the drier side. Now, as we look at the next 10 days, big changes. This is the European model, bringing in opportunities for some soaking rainfall finally for some folks. Now, this is the one single run, the European operational run from last night, and it's got a very optimistic look as we kind of take a look at breaking this up. The first 5 days on top and then days 5 to 10 on the bottom. You can see a lot of this coming in the last half of the next 10 days. So we have to kind of look at that with a skeptical eye and do some comparisons here and see, how strong is this signal. So we'll look at temperatures real quick. We do see the heat beginning to fade as we head into the end of the week, into next week, and that is part of the story here. As we get started, big ridge right through western Canada. That's why we're on the hot and dry side right now. But look what's happening here as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. The ridge begins to flatten out. Not only that, as we get into the weekend, we're going to be talking about a trough, an upper level low swinging in. We've had upper level ridging over the region as long as we can remember here, leading to hot, dry conditions. So again, not only flattening the ridge, bringing in the chance for an upper level disturbance here to cool us down and bring in a much more appreciable chance for some significant precipitation across at least portions of the Prairie. Now, as we look at the European on the left, the ensemble, and the GFS ensemble on the right, good news, we have some agreement there. I apologize about the Bluetooth mouse here trying to connect. We'll just try and ignore that as much as we can. But good agreement here with the overall pattern. Upper level trough moving into portions of the Prairie here as we get into the weekend, kind of around August 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's going to signal some change here. These are the jet stream winds that go along with this. Again, very weak, disorganized flow overhead right now as we talk about the Prairie provinces. That's what, again, leads to the hot, very dry, very boring conditions across the region. No upper-level jet stream support to kick off organized precipitation. That's going to continue to really be the theme as we head through the first part of the week. Now, remember, we have that little disturbance bringing isolated hit-or-miss light precipitation to the region. But then as we get to the end of the week, this is now Thursday. Here's the upper level low now making its way across the Pacific coast, British Columbia, and then swinging in here as we get into Saturday and Sunday. And this pattern kind of lingers here. We get, several days of good upper level support here to potentially kick off some precipitation across the region and help us kind of kick the heat back off to the south. So again, the European model, the operational, just deterministic run. So again, knowing as we get into days 5, 6, 7, and beyond, we're not going to have a real clear picture of the exact specifics here, but we'll watch this day by day as we head through the coming week. The chance for some very light hit or miss showers across Alberta today. That moves into Saskatchewan on Tuesday and then off into portions of Manitoba as we get into the day on Wednesday. The more appreciable chance for widespread beneficial precipitation, that's going to be arriving here as we get into the weekend. That's going to be here as we get into Friday. You can see the upper level low beginning to emerge. Here's the surface low across Alberta midday on Friday, and then this moves slowly from west to east across the region with precipitation chances coming along with it. This is as we get into Saturday now, and then into Sunday, and then on into Monday. So as far as timing goes, I'm giving you this tease here, a chance for some more appreciable precipitation. The timing on that's going to be around Friday to Monday of the coming weekend. So this is something we'll have several days to watch. We'll compare side by side the European on the left, the GFS operational run on the right. So you can see the difference here. The European quite optimistic with more widespread soaking rainfall. The GFS, as I see your pattern, not quite ready to give you widespread significant precipitation. And then we can look at this another way. We'll take a look at the ensemble picture here, the probability of picking up 1 inch or more of rainfall over the next 10 days. So through Wednesday here, August 11th. And again, as you look at the primary Prairie region, we're still pinging pretty low on the probability scale here of picking up 1 inch or more of rain. And so what that tells us is, again, 5, 6, 7 days out into the future, we don't quite have this locked in here with a sure thing everyone's going to get some rain. This is just a pattern change, a pivot toward an opportunity to bring in much more in the way of organized precipitation. A lot of ways that I can say this here and make this forecast video quite long, but the moral of the story is we got some change here coming at the end of the week into the weekend, and we're just going to have to kind of watch as we get closer here to see who's going to get the biggest change, who's going to pick up the most in the way of rainfall, because right now just about everyone has the chance as we get to the end of the week. Now heat, that's going to be breaking as well as we get started early this week. That ridge anchored right across Western Canada. The temperatures going to be on the warm side as we head through much of the work week here, but as we get into the weekend, the end of the week, as that upper level trough swings into the region, temperatures will be taking a tumble as well. So a better chance for rain and cooler temperatures as we head toward the end of the week. You can see that here, the 10-day high and low temperature forecast for some of our select cities. Calgary, you're hanging out in the upper 20s to near 30 as we get into the end of the week, cooling off over the weekend. Same story here in Edmonton. A similar look in Saskatoon, 36 for the high today, back down into the upper 20s as we head through the rest of the work week. Regina, you're going to be 33 today, 30 tomorrow, upper 20s as we head through Friday, and then cooling down into the weekend. And a similar look here in Winnipeg. You'll be on the warm side as we head through midweek. Those temperatures in the low to middle 30s, dropping back down into the 20s as we head into the weekend.